Thank you. I noted the Taoiseach's response earlier on to Deputy Bacik when he said that this government will do anything to help reduce emissions. Well, here's a good idea for this government. This bill is very, very simple. We have a climate emergency both globally and nationally. We're failing on all fronts to address it, despite years of the Green Party propping up a Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael government. And despite the pleadings of the government and their explanations, our emissions are rising, and rising at a shocking level. We're the worst in the European Union. And meanwhile, the latest science is screaming at us that we are heading rapidly to the point of crossing thresholds and catastrophic consequences. I note the meteorological report yesterday that we will breach the 1.5 degree of warming very, very soon. And I've absolutely no doubt that that will happen. But I've also no confidence that globally or nationally we will address the underlying causes of that catastrophe, and that is the insatiable needs of our economic system to expand and to seek profits. So we introduced this bill in the same week that the government proudly announced that it would remove all car parking spaces from public sector workers. We introduced this bill in the same month that the government rubbished calls for the provision of free public transport, telling workers who have no access to public transport and telling others who can't afford to retrofit their homes or to buy an electric vehicle that they must change their behaviour is guaranteed to fail and is guaranteed to breed cynicism and climate denial. The climate crisis is not the cause of personal choices of ordinary people. It's caused by the economic imperatives of the capitalist system, by the lifestyles and the desires of the 1% of the global elite population, and by the efforts of the fossil fuel industry. We know that one of the reasons for our rising emissions figures is aviation emissions. Aviation, however, something like shipping, is a kind of a twilight zone where each nation tries to say, well, it's not really our issue, but together they are intimately connected with the climate crisis. And despite government policies, the planet and the climate does not care about carbon trading or inventive accounting. And the most shocking aspect of aviation is the growth and the footprint of private jet use. And here is an example of personal behaviours that must change and where there are clear alternatives on commercial flights. 6,600 private jets departed from Ireland in 2021 alone. So there's no excuse for their use. There is status of the symbol of the rich and signal that the rich don't care, that climate change is for little people. And so this bill is part of a global move to challenge that and to highlight that it is the rich and their economic system that is destroying our planet.